and bathe a ritual of purification, performed daily. Thus purified, they assemble in a special common room and partake of a simple communal meal, contrary to later popular misconceptions. Josephus does not describe the Essenes as vegetarian. They are said to eat meat. The Essenes, Josephus says, are well versed in the books of the Old Testament and the teachings of the prophets. They are themselves trained in the arts of divination and can foretell the future by studying sacred texts in conjunction with certain rites of purification. In their doctrine, according to Josephus, the soul is immortal, but trapped in the prison of the mortal and corruptible body. At death, the soul is set free and soars upwards. Rejoicing, Josephus compares Essenes teaching to that of the Greeks elsewhere. He is more specific, likening it to the principles of the Pythagorean schools. Josephus mentions Essenes adherence to the law of Moses. What they reverence most after God is the lawgiver, and blasphemy against him is a capital offense. On the whole, however, the Essenes are portrayed as pacifist and on good terms with established authority. Indeed, they are said to enjoy the special favor of Herod, who continued to honor all the Essenes. Herod had these Essenes in such honor, and thought higher of them than their mortal nature required. But at one point Josephus contradicts himself, or perhaps slips his guard. The Essenes, he says, despise danger and conquer pain by sheer willpower. Death, if it comes with honor, they value more than life without end. Their spirit was tested to the utmost by the war with the Romans, who racked and twisted, burnt and broke them, subjecting them to every torture, yet invented in order to make them blaspheme the lawgiver or eat some forbidden food. In this one reference, at variance with everything else, Josephus says, his Essenes begin to sound suspiciously like the militant defenders of Macedon, the zealots of Sicarii. With the exception of this one reference, Josephus' account was to shape popular images of the Essenes. For most of the ensuing 2,000 years, and when the Aufklärung, the so-called Enlightenment, began to encourage free-thinking examination of Christian tradition, commentators began to make connections between that tradition and Josephus Essenes. Thus, in 1770, no less a personage than Frederick the Great wrote definitively that Jesus was really an Essene. He was imbued with Essene ethics. Such apparently scandalous assertions proceeded to gain increasing accuracy during the latter half of the next century, and in 1863 Renan published his famous